this week's episode or devotional. And I was just thinking, I used to have a gaming channel on YouTube. I would post videos there of the games I would play, and I actually earned some money with it as well. Never really got to be professional in that. Would have been fun, but at the same time, I found out it was quite boring for myself quite quickly. And anyway, there's a whole category of videos on YouTube, and some of them are gaming videos that are called talking head videos. And I just realized this is more like a walking head video. And well, yes, that's what I do. So, welcome to my next walking head video. Anyway, last week I shared a bit about your own personal revelation of Christ. And that it's important that we have one. That we know who Christ is for us. Because that is what we build our whole faith life on. And now, maybe that triggered you, because how can I find my own revelation of Christ, who Christ is for me, if I don't hear His voice? How can I do this without hearing God's voice? Well, that's a very good question. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Hearing God's voice is one of the big challenges in our life. Because it's not the only voice that is speaking to us. God is speaking to us, but it's not the only voice that is speaking to us. And if we want to understand, to hear what He's saying and then understand what He's saying, we might have a challenge with filtering out other voices around us or other noise around us, busyness. That's, by the way, why I like to go here, because as you can see, I'm the only one here at the moment. But I do also realize that most of you will not be able to walk through the forest an hour a day. Now, for me, this is also part of my part of my health journey. I had a stomach surgery, which was my third stomach surgery in May of this of this last year. And I'm now doing physiotherapy twice a week, and I have to do workouts with that and walk. So here I am walking, basically combining a lot of good things. Spending time with God in the woods while walking, which is good for my body, and making a walking head video. But no, I realize that not a lot of people will be in the same situation as where I am. So you're welcome to copy what I'm doing and just walk around in the woods and talk to God in the woods. But I do realize, as will you, that not everyone will be able to do this. But I like to walk here because it's so quiet. I'm actually walking in between the biggest highways in the Netherlands, but it's so quiet here. I can actually hear stuff that I normally can't. There's no other voices here speaking to me. Well, except for my own conscience, maybe. Or maybe the other side of the spiritual realm. But there's no friends around me here. There's no wife or kids or contractors or whatever. No one here to disturb my thoughts and to disturb my time with God here. Now I'm going to have to cross under this again. Yep. There we go. And That's the first challenge. How do you find time to actually listen to God and not have a lot of other things going through your mind at the same time? And a lot of the times we try to quiet our own thoughts and be empty so we can hear God. But a lot of the times I found out that is not how it works. When I'm talking to God, I have some questions to ask. I have some challenges maybe to work through. And not just my own, but as a leader, I'm not just asking God for my own questions and my own challenges, but also how can I help this other person? And a lot of the times when I'm doing that, my mind just wanders off in a certain direction. I'm not saying it's a specific direction because it's different every single time. But what I tended to do, is that I would try to quiet my mind and force my mind to go back to just talking to God. And that might not always be the wise thing to do. Because who says that God cannot talk to you, or the Holy Spirit can talk to you in those thoughts? Maybe He's helping you with those thoughts. If you're pondering something, if you're working through something, it could very well be that He wants to show up in that thought process. So I'd like to encourage you, the next time you're just talking to God and you feel your mind wandering off in a certain way, invite the Holy Spirit in there instead of trying to quiet your mind and have a totally empty mind. I've not really heard God speaking to me audibly a lot. I've heard it a few times, but it's not a regular occurrence. More often, He's speaking to me through the forest, through things my wife says, things friends say, things I read in the Bible. And next week I'll talk about the Bible, and which is always a good thing to do at the devotional, No, but there's a certain way in which you can go through 10 steps to discover stuff in the Bible that you've never been able to discover before. I'm still working through that myself, so I want to be a little more experienced in that before I start sharing it. But next week, I think I'll be ready to share something about that. So, yeah. Anyway, there's lots of different ways that God talks to us, and I wouldn't go into a punishment mode of yourself when you feel that your mind is wandering off in a certain direction, and try to punish yourself back into a quiet listening. And yes, there are times to quietly listen to God, but a lot of times He wants to meet us in whatever we're in, whatever we're working through. Now, and He will have a solution for what we're going through. So I want to encourage you, next time you're just talking to God and you feel your mind wandering off because you're worrying so much about this. Maybe you've even heard in the Bible that it says that worrying is a sin, and now I'm sinning because I'm worrying. No, let your mind wander off and consciously invite the Holy Spirit in to speak into that situation, and then share below this video what happened, because I'm really curious to hear that. And bless you with that. Bless you with a new revelation of how God talks to you. And I'm looking forward to hearing your stories. So, see you next week, and be blessed. You've listened to a podcast by the 1820 Foundation and 5volt.eu.
For more information and contact, please visit www.fivefold.eu. We are a ministry and all the work we do is made possible from donations. If you would like to support us and contribute to the building of the kingdom, please also check out our website, the1820foundation.nl. Thank you for listening. Many blessings.